Welcome to Central News. I'm your host, Molly Jones. Today on Central News we have for you three truly shocking stories. A flat in West London was reportedly set on fire late last night with drastic consequences. The tenant is accusing the neighbour's 5-year-old granddaughter. And there has been an inquiry into the winner of Best Dog at the local canine competition. A source has revealed that one of the judges allegedly took a £70 bribe to ensure that the cockapoo, Little Miss Rosie, took home the Best Dog trophy, which was only worth £20. But the most outrageous scandal Londoners heard of in a while is the apparent suicide of detective-turned-criminal Sherlock Holmes of Baker Street, North West London. Kitty Riley has more. Self-titled consulting detective Sherlock Holmes has died this morning after jumping off St Bartholomew's Hospital. Sherlock was recently accused of paying an out-of-work actor, Richard Brooke, to pose as a criminal mastermind. This enabled Sherlock to commit murders and link them back to an uncatchable killer played by Richard. Mr. Brooke revealed the disgraceful reality behind Sherlock's supposedly incredible investigative skills. Mr. Holmes' faithful assistant and blogger, John Watson, looked up to see Sherlock standing on the edge, telling John that it's all true, Moriarty is fake, and that this was his note. After a great deal of convincing, we were able to speak with Mr. Watson as he recalls this morning's events. Thank you for joining us at this most difficult time, John. I just caught a cab back to St Bart's after I'd been falsely informed that our landlady had been shot. And as I arrived, I got a call from Sherlock, and he kept telling me to look at the roof, and I did, and he was just standing there, right on the edge. Did you know that Sherlock was being a fraud at this point, or did you have any suspicion? He's not a... No, I had no idea what was happening. I had heard the claims, but I dismissed them because I know Sherlock. I've lived with this man for over a year now. I would know if something was wrong. How would you have known? Isn't it true that he would just disappear without notice? Even his brother, Mycroft Holmes, didn't know of Sherlock's whereabouts. Sherlock was my friend. I'm not his brother, okay? Moriarty is real. There's no doubt about it. He framed Sherlock. Back to this morning. What happened after you saw him up on the roof? He started going on about the accusations and apologising, and then he said this call was his note. And I knew what was going on then, but I just didn't want it to be true. And he just said, "Goodbye, John," and dropped the phone and just fell. Oh God, I can see it now. I ran over to where he landed, but this guy on a bike ran into me, and by the time I got there, there were people all around and medics from the hospital already got there, and I felt for his pulse as they took him away, and nothing. We have Sherlock Holmes' last phone call recorded. Here's a snippet.
The newspapers were right all along. I want you to tell Lestrade. I want you to tell Mrs. Hudson and Molly.
In fact, tell anyone who will listen to you that I created Moriarty for my own purposes.
Okay, shut up, Sherlock. Shut up.
Please, will you do this for me?
Do what?
This phone call,
It's my note. It's what people do, don't they?
leave a note.
Leave a note when?
Goodbye, John.
With all the evidence pointing to him, Sherlock Holmes couldn't live with himself after the reality of what he'd done, causing him to take his own life. He even admitted it to you. How can you still... No, I can't do this. Did it ever occur to you that Mr. Holmes was just using you to get inside information because of your military background? Oh, God, no. I never should have done this. Please let me be. Even after his death, Sherlock Holmes is still managing to indoctrinate innocent people. John Watson is currently under the professional psychiatric care of Dr. Ella Thompson and is on careful surveillance. The night before Sherlock Holmes' suicide, Sherlock was arrested under the suspicion of kidnapping and then John for assaulting a detective. They were handcuffed up against a police car when Sherlock managed to pull a gun from a nearby officer and take John hostage. From there they escaped as fugitives and were not seen until this fateful morning. We now have for you an exclusive interview with Sgt Sally Donovan from New Scotland Yard, who is behind Sherlock's arrest. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us at Central News.
No problem.
So when did you first suspect of Sherlock being behind the murders?
Well, we didn't know for certain.
But you pushed for his arrest.
I was always suspicious of Sherlock Holmes. I could never believe someone was quite that clever.
And they couldn't be.
He might have been a brilliant detective. We didn't know for sure. All the other cases were someone who admitted to the crimes or were proven guilty. I can't imagine he could have staged every case, but there was a lot of evidence piling against him.
I know before his murder you had quite a different attitude. You would have done anything to bring him down, and now you seem to be bringing him up.
No, not exactly. I never liked the guy.
But you do now instead?
What? No, we didn't get along, but I never wished him dead. I just wish we could have helped him before he went off the rails.
Thank you for your input.
But I haven't said...
It has been proven that Sherlock Holmes was without a doubt a criminal mastermind who has affected many people with his psychopathic schemes. And it is true, there was never a Moriarty. Kitty Riley reporting, Central News. Thank you, Kitty. And if you have any information regarding the whereabouts of Richard Brooke, please contact Central News on the number at the bottom of the screen. Good night, London.